Shit. Turn this shit on. Nice shoes. I can't help it. Are we on yet? Are we on yet? Oh, a couple of them. Yeah, I gotta blow my nose. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Art Toast here at Cafe Coda for Coda Vision TV. Give me the beatnik snap. I know you all are out there. I know you feel me. That's right, and we are so happy to be able to transform ourselves, you dig? You know, when we first started this place 2 years ago, we were proud to become the foremost jazz establishment in southeastern Wisconsin. Is that where southeastern Wisconsin? Southeastern Wisconsin. Well, this part of the universe. You dig what I'm saying? Okay, and so now with the Corona COVID dance that we're all doing, and it is kind of a dance. You know, I don't know whether I'm leading or following, but it's some kind of dance that we're doing. We are what you consider making lemonade, okay? We are transforming ourselves into something bigger than was what ourselves before. And in fact, this program is adventing, if you will, is the advent of what we are going to call Coda Vision TV. Say it with me, Coda Vision TV. I can hear you out there, Coda Vision TV. And dig this, gang, Coda Vision TV is going to bring you Cafe Coda right to your living room, right to your television, right to your little telephone. Do they still call them telephones? I don't know why. I don't know why they still call them telephones, because they're far greater than, well, anyway. This is what we're about to do. And I want to remind you, every week, I want to remind you that Black Lives Matter. Say it with me. Black Lives Matter. That's right. Humanity matters. But dig this. Black lives matter, okay? And so in order for us to really enjoy the full essence of humanity, we must keep that in mind. Unfortunately, in this day and age, we still have to keep that in mind, okay? And so Cafe Coda, just as a public service announcement, Cafe Coda is doing voters registration here every Saturday from noon until 4, because we think that it's very important that we maintain a sense of relevance in the community, although we can't sell booze. We can play saxophone, but we can't sell booze. Ain't that a damn shame? You know? So for those of you who need to register to vote, come on out on Saturday. We will register you. I just want to let you know that I'm practicing here from 8 until 11. And the only thing that would really not disturb me from 8 o'clock to 11, because usually I don't even answer the phone. I get real rude from 8 o'clock until 11. But if you actually wanted to come and register to vote anytime I'm here between 8 and 11, I would actually put my horn down and register you personally, you dig? And so that's how important this is to me. How important is it to you? Okay, so let's see about that, all right? Tonight we're just so grateful to have these great artists here, and we're great to have this production, and hopefully Art Toast will be part of the Coda Vision repertoire. We might call it something different, but this lovely young woman will actually be the fulcrum of anything we do here under Art Toast. And she is Miss Margaret LeMay, who is the owner and founder of Integrated Art Group in Marźen, the great, wonderful fine arts gallery on Atwood. And so, ladies and gentlemen, come on, give us the beatnik snap for Margaret LeMay and Art Toast.
Thank you, Hannah. Thank you so much for the opportunity to be here. Very happy to have Art Toast Live at Cafe Coda. And want to also mention that we will be hosting a group exhibition from here on out with you. And that'll be on October 25th. We'll have drum circle and live music performances. More information on our website, integratedart.com. So check it out for tickets and sponsorship opportunities. So we typically start our toast with a toast. So you all want to raise your glasses, and we want to welcome our guests, Jerome Glenn, Jerry Jordan, and Tony Catteruccia, who's our co-curator for the show. So toast to you all, wonderful artists. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So a little backstory on me, and I'm going to go way back. I am a first-generation American. My parents immigrated here in 1960, and they settled in Kenosha, Wisconsin. I was born and raised there. I graduated from Ruther Alternative High School in 1984 and proceeded to go to Europe for 2 years and attended the Polytechnic in Warsaw, Poland, my father's alma mater, studied mechanical engineering for 2 years. And during that time, although I could do the coursework, my heart and soul was somewhere else. I started to gravitate toward artists and musicians and thespians, and within that time frame decided that I wanted to pursue a degree in art. So started to put a portfolio together, wanted to attend university down in Krakow, Poland, that was producing wonderful artwork, theatrical posters. But as John Lennon said, life is what happens when you're busy making other plans. That never materialized. Ended up taking some time off. By the time I started to pursue a degree again a couple years later, I was a single parent and was back in Wisconsin, attended UW Parkside. Within about 2 years in 1990, transferred to UW-Madison, worked at Tandem Press as an undergrad, and really got involved in the printmaking process. By the time I graduated college in 1992, I was married, and 2 weeks after I graduated, had my second child. The year after that, my third. This is all relevant to the formation of Integrated Art Group in Marźen. As I went along, I sought out a creative field and began working at Marshall Erdman Associates. They're a design build firm. I started there in April of '96, and in May, our youngest daughter was diagnosed with autism. I had a 13-year career at Erdman. I started out as their production framer in their art department. They had a very unique art program for their healing hospitality medical building clients, and it was completely vertically integrated in-house. Marshall Erdman was a protege of Frank Lloyd Wright. He really believed in creating a cohesive whole, and the art program was part of that. I also managed their corporate collection, and their inventory collection counted, I think, at the time one of the largest in the state at nearly 6,000 pieces. So as Erdman reorganized in the mid-2000s, I saw an opportunity to go out on my own and start my business, which I started Integrated Art Group in 2008 during the Great Recession. Great time to start an art business. However, it actually flourished quite well, and what brought me into Madison, actually, even though I always worked in the community here, was our youngest daughter that was diagnosed with autism. As she was transitioning out of high school, there was a 10-year waiting list for any adult services in Rock County. So we scrambled and moved to Madison to give her an opportunity at an independent life. And that's when I moved to Madison in 2013, opened Gallery Marźen in 2014. We did shows there regularly for about 3 years. And currently, we use the Marźen space as a showroom for integrated art group. However, when I get the inspiration, I will mount exhibitions as the one we're working on right now from here on out. I was inspired to do this show witnessing some of the horrific acts that are going on, the injustices that are prevalent in our society. I feel that it's important that we stand in solidarity with the Black Lives Matter movement because I recognize that silence is violence, and I've had enough. As an art consulting firm and gallery, we acknowledge that artists of color have been underrepresented in institutions and in commercial galleries, so I wanted to do our part to change that going forward, and that really was the inspiration for this show. Thank you again for being here. I'm going to take just a little bit of time here and introduce the artists, and then engage you all in a Q&A and get your backstories and have a conversation here. So, Jerome Glenn here is born in Montgomery, Alabama, 1951. Jerome served in the military during the Vietnam War. He also worked as MS Criminal Justice Corrections Officer in Chicago and Probation and Patrol Adult Supervision in Michigan and Wisconsin. Recently, Jerome won the 2020 Creative Power Awards from Arts for All Wisconsin for his work entitled Guys and Dolls Meeting in the Attic Room. So welcome, Jerome.
Thank you, dude. Thank you.
Jerry Jordan, here on my right, is a painter working in the style of contemporary realism. Each of the artists have examples of the work behind them. He counts as inspirations artists such as John Singer Sargent, William M. Chase, Joaquin Sorella, I'm sorry if I butchered that name, just to name a few. He graduated from University of Wisconsin-Whitewater with a BA in art as well as an MS in curriculum and instruction with an emphasis in art education. With a growing body of work, he is quickly becoming a highly sought-after artist. He is represented by Marźen here in Madison and other galleries in the Midwest. And here in the center, we have Tony Catteruccia. Tony is co-curating the From Here On Out exhibit. He is currently a mural artist and a tattoo artist. He's grown to love and live the tattoo culture. He enjoys expanding his horizons, learning from different styles, and creating his own. He enjoys working with large-scale original pieces consisting of Japanese influence, animals of all kinds, faces, and of course, flow. And he's excited for this new chapter in his journey. So I think I'm going to start out with you, Jerome. I really want to hear all of your backstories a little bit to learn about what brought you to art and what it means to participate in this event.
Well, I suppose the disabilities that I obtained working in law enforcement, because I went through some complications in my life because of that reason. And art was a form of relaxation for me, and I really needed something like relaxation to focus myself again. And it brought out a lot of good things for me to focus on, art did. And I'm really appreciative. But it was a form of hobby, but then I kept creating so much artwork that people liked. I said, well, maybe I should do this more seriously. And then I did.
Great, thank you.
You're
thank
welcome.
you. So how about you, Jerry? Give us a little bit of your backstory and how you arrived at getting involved with the arts.
Well, I've always wanted to be an artist from a little kid all the way up. I always got in trouble in school for drawing on the, well, yeah, I guess drawing on the wall. That was a long time ago, so I'm not gonna get in trouble about it now. You know, I get in trouble drawing in class, and yeah, so I always wanted to be an artist. I wanted to be a cartoonist. I wanted to work for Disney. That was my plan for a long time. Then I wanted to work for Hallmark, and that never happened. And then, you know, like you were saying, life happens. I went back to grad school. I went for art education, and when I finished, I got married. Actually, I got married before I finished, and I moved here in Madison, and I got a job working at the university. And then next thing you know, we had a kid. I had a son, my son Miles, and you know, life gets in the way sometimes, and art gets put on the back burner. And you know, months would go by without me doing anything. And then one day I saw Art Magazine. I saw this artist work in there, and I was like, you know, I can do that. I need to get back to it. And I just dove straight in. And as my kids gotten older, that allowed me more time to produce my work. And again, as I'm getting older, I realized I need to work. And so I'm working, you know, doing catch up.
Yeah, great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And are you primarily a portrait artist? Is that your focus?
It started out as a focus because I thought that was the only way you can make money as a painter. But now it's expanded doing narrative pieces, mostly figurative, telling a story. But I do a lot of portraits.
Yeah, great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And Tony, how about you? A little bit of your story and how you arrived to come into art.
Well, I did know that as a child, you know, and kind of like everyone here, I always knew I was. It was really the only cognitive thing for me as far as, you know, as a kid to teenager to young adult to adult. I was always chasing a feeling, I feel like, whether it was from the movies I watched as a child or, you know, just good feelings that I always had as far as, you know, whether it was production or art or what kids like Pokemon cards or, you know, action figures. I was always fueled by something that made me think a lot. So, you know, as I got older, I tried the college thing, didn't really work out. School was never a strong suit for me. My actual high school kind of came to a compromise where like, well, you're not really doing the work we need you to do, so if you draw things for us and, you know, in relation to the assignments, we'll see what we can do for you. And ended up graduating through an alternative program because I, you know, had this thing where I always wanted to do what I wanted to do. I wouldn't know if it was rebellious at an early age or just me knowing what I wanted in life, I guess. But yeah, you know, the college thing didn't work out. I was wanting something a little bit more hands-on rather than technical or over a computer screen. So I got into tattooing. I would say not the best way, you know, not the ideal way everyone would start as far as apprenticeships. I kind of just had a kit that was thrown to me by someone, and I didn't mess up people too bad as a young adult. So, you know, I kind of dabbled with it, and then I wanted to get out of the town I lived in, which is a very small, secluded, either you're going or you're not kind of town. And I found out very early in a relationship of mine that I was having a child at 20 years old. And it became like a, you know, catch up, you know, or crunch time, I thought, and I had to get something going. So I knew that art was always around, so I kind of used it as, you know, the thing to get me forward. So.
Great,
Yeah.
thank you. Couple other things I wanted to mention is that we are currently taking art submissions for the group exhibition from here on out. That's located on the Integrated Art Group website, and we'll be taking those submissions until September 28th. Celebrating Black lives and Black art. You know, the works we have here are so different stylistically, and there's so many stories behind them. So I really want to dive into a little bit of that and understand about your iconography and what inspires you to to create the types of work that you do. Jerome, can you tell us a little bit about your process and even how you choose your materials?
Yes, well, about my artwork, I'm creatively like him, yes, Mr. Wasley Kandinsky, whom too indeed created the total quality of an abstract picture, yes, exhibited in his emotional use of colors and forms, such as, because he believed that art, as rumored as by he, Kandinsky, yes, it should express man's knowledge of the physical world. For Kandinsky, he aimed at discarding all subject matter that exists by, therefore, so the viewing of a mind's eye. The mind's eye. As upon observing his painting, pointedly only applying just colors, indeed, for he wanted abstract art as just like music, such as like color arrangements, yes, representing its own space of images, yes, just like intervals of notes representing a certain music key. Even better, an example, one interval of a note of hard or of soft sound. Well, like then the one color of an expression of light or of dark colors in an idea that represents dark thinking or happy thinking. Moreover, yes, even more as to inspire my artwork is yes, George Seurat and Claude Monet, yes, also Impressionists. Also, quietly, there's as much indeed great respect that I give upon also my artwork as from those who I listed as creatively famous written books of just literature, or along with also those songs of music, and with even many more additional masters of art, who indeed they have given me constantly so a great motivation in my art, yes, along with literary masters such as Victor Hugo, and a book also entitled Metamorphosis by Franz Kafka. In addition, yes, with a list of additional masters of art, well, indeed, I list also cartoonist styles, such as Mr. Walt Disney, and two, Mr. Norman Rockwell, for they both were wonderful illustrated artists, cartoonists. In conclusion, thus I still indeed a most unique person in so the creation of my artwork, because truly, so my art style, or observe that it will always have a blueprint description on which it is always telling and communicating, and yes, peeking towards one's viewing eyes regarding an abstract which the outlined subject, it is placed and it is shown as within each painting's own art pose moment. An art pose moment, yes, meaning as which is formed such as a viewing of content which are an observation against an abstract color, background, the surrounding simply there so a pose moment of a physical silhouette of features and images, which these are shaded or lightened to select colors against this abstract color background, design decor. Therefore, these two elements in conclusion, well, it gives the observer, of course, a different form. As an example, on which it is typically described as an abstract non-figurative or an abstract non-objective. Because here in my art of abstract, it is simply now, well, it is logical and further outgrowth of here, this, now, ago, upon then, the late 19th century Impressionist experiments. Indeed, experiments, as with the painting, it is displaying the painting also colors. Yes, by it also experimenting as a display of the creation of light reflections, on which describes the subject's automation, meaning on that the painting, it must still rely on those contrasting and combining combinations of ranges of colors. Therefore, well, the law, I can hopefully achieve, hopefully always, a specifically emotional and symbolic effect on which reacts as to its array of colors.
Thanks, Jerome. That's a lot there, and I can really see that influence in your paintings too, and in the materials that you use.
Thank you, dear.
So thanks for sharing with that.
Art pose moment.
Yeah. Tony, I've got a question for you. As we curate this show, what do you feel will make this a great show?
Difference, and I think if we kind of focused more on the fact of change in general would make it a great show.
Yeah.
To make it, I wouldn't want to say make, but to really influence and kind of, I don't know, within like in a loving way, persuade someone to realize and understand that change is really all we can work for right now. Things move so fast but stay so still at the same time. So I feel like what would make this event really great is to kind of scream that out a little bit more and make it known.
Yeah, great. Thank you. I'm excited to be working with you on this. Jerry, have you used your creative practice to process current events at all or comment on current social or political issues?
Well, yeah. I don't know how you can't if you're paying attention. If you're someone who watches the news or just pays attention, you're just living and breathing. You're going to have to, as an artist, you're going to have to put that in your work. It actually is going to seep into your work. And so with my work, I am aiming to make people see me as an artist and my subject matter as human, as real people who do things outside of the stereotypes. I have a series now where a young woman is in a field with wildflowers. Actually, it's my daughter. She's the model for it, and you know that is something you just don't see a lot of. Young black girls being able to be in a field of wildflowers, and she's able to, if she wants, she can frolic through the flowers. She's free to do that. No, she doesn't feel threatened. You see images of white girls being able to do that. White people in general being able to enjoy life. They're doing more than just surviving. People always say, yeah, we survive. Yes, I want to survive, but I want to live. And so to me, that's what I'm trying to portray in my work, people living, and being a part of life, giving back to the world, that sort of thing. So, right. Yeah, so it's definitely in my work. It may be a little subtle. I have one piece called Pressure that is that's more in your face. But a lot of my work, I want people to really look at it and pay attention to it and kind of see the story there.
Yeah, great. Thank you.
Welcome.
Jerome, do you think that people are turning more to art now in these times?
As I said, it helped me, and I was very much depressed with my disability, and really couldn't even face the fact that I had a disability for a long time. You know, impediment, you know, was my memory. And so, yes, I think that art, literature, music, it's all interrelated, and it's necessary.
Yes,
Yeah.
it really is. And Tony, how do you make your art? What is your process?
I guess it was kind of like what I described before, like the chasing the feeling thing. I would really say that I guess I don't really have one. I just kind of see images and I collage them in a way where I think is tasteful or, you know, very contrasting to one's eye in general, just to see a bunch of colors put together in a way like really anything else is, you know, it's nice. It's, you know, a world where, you know, a lot of things can be dark and gloomy. Just a whole bunch of color in your face just kind of naturally lifts you. For me personally, you know, and I guess my whole process is just to make something up there that, whether it's a mural or a canvas or a tattoo, I want the moment of what I felt before, during, and after to be captured in that forever.
Great, thank
Yeah.
you.
Mhm.
Also wanted to mention that during our artist reception on October 25th, Tony's going to be doing a live painting on my van, so I'm really excited about that. So I hope everybody can come down and join the event. We'll also have Hannah John Taylor Quartet playing and a drum circle. So again, integratedartgroup.com to get more information and for tickets for that event. So, Jerry, what are you working on now?
I'm currently working on a piece called "It's Not Enough," and the basic images of a man or a woman in water up to their chin, maybe. I'm still working out the idea, but it's, you know, it's about people saying, you know, I'm keeping my head above water, I'm surviving, and that is not enough. And that's a theme of a lot of my work. It's people being able to live. I think as human beings, we have the right to live and not always just survive. And so that's one of the pieces I'm working on right now, as well as another part of the series of a woman in the field playing music. And because when I'm working, I really like to have music with me. And I actually it's kind of fitting we're in this space here, because some of my paintings I started out with Louis Armstrong and Ella's version of "Summertime," and I just love that horn solo. And I tell myself, if I can manipulate the paint like he can manipulate that horn, I'm getting someplace. So
Amen.
that is my inspiration when I start my painting.
Amen.
Now I'm listening to all different everything else, you know, but that's how I start with that song and kind of go from there.
Nice. That's great. That's really interesting. You know, it's so fun to hear about how everybody has a different practice. You know, I'm going to open up. I've been going round robin, but, you know, a lot of these questions are, you know, relevant to all of you. I'm curious, describe your process too. Is there do you wake up super early? Do you stay up late and get in a flow? Just any one of you guys chime in. Like, what is your process?
Yes, it does like the Lord is calling you, you know, to get up and do what you're supposed to do. And you get up, be patient, you drink some water, and you start your masterpiece. That's how I do it.
Do you do a daily practice of painting?
It's when you feel the call.
Okay, so you have certain days where you're feeling a little more inspired, and
It's when you feel the call.
nice. Is that true for you guys
Yeah,
too?
I would agree 100% with that one.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you go ahead.
Well, for me, it's a little different because I heard someone say dreams will not come true laying in bed, right? And so I get up at about 4:30, 5 o'clock every morning to paint because I am a family man. I have kids, well, they're older now. One's 21, one's 16. But I started doing that when they were young because the only time of the day I could find to do my work. And, I just believe in practice. I saw this meme with Bruce Lee, who was talking about practice. And if you're good, you should be practicing. If you're the best, you should be practicing. And I just say, I got to get up, put in the work. And even if that means just cleaning my palette or just doing some drawings and stuff. So that's my process every morning for maybe about an hour and a half, then get ready to go to work. And yeah.
Great, thank you. Tony, did you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, I guess when it's, like I said, whatever medium it is, one is work, career, I have to do it. I would say for my canvases, I have a very sporadic, weird pattern to it. Like I can, for example, I started these paintings, I'd say about 6 months ago, and there's actually another piece that's in addition to these two, but I do this thing where I'll go maybe 2-3 weeks, maybe a month without touching a canvas, but I've been doing other things, and I'm kind of collecting everything that I've done and approaches and just thought patterns with it, and then eventually I just kind of literally throw it on to the canvas, whether it's trying it a different way, using a brush, then pulling out a Sharpie, then, grabbing a paint marker, then grabbing a Copic marker, and just keeping it all on one thing. And it's just kind of just all of a sudden I got to do it. Like he said, the call. But my call is like, normally can happen, sometimes happen at midnight, sometimes 4 in the morning, or sometimes I'll be in the middle of sleep and just got to get up and paint because I can't sleep.
Nice.
So, yeah.
That's really cool. How long does it take you to complete a work? And how do you know when it's done?
You don't.
You don't know.
I don't think you ever really know.
You don't know.
You could keep going. It's I don't think there really is I think there's like that point where it's, I like it. I could love it, but I like it enough to let it be its own thing now, for me personally.
Yeah, great. I don't know, how are we doing on time?
We're doing just fine. Keep going.
Keep going. All right. So, how has your work and art career evolved?
Well, for me, pretty much so. All the award-winning paintings that I've received, just being here in Madison is, first it was BSA, Wisconsin, and then now it's Arts for All. And I'm participating with you, Margaret.
Yeah. Great to have you on board.
Well, you got great artists here, we all, I can see, we got so much variety here, and we pretty much in the same pocket. We urban, and we masters of our own taste.
Yeah, definitely. How about you guys? You want to add anything to that?
I feel like it's evolved to a point where I'm here. It's making me feel like my purpose is becoming more of a purpose, and that all those nights I stayed up wondering if this is what I was supposed to do. I feel like it feels like I am doing what I'm supposed to do. That's how I would say my career in art has evolved.
Right.
Yeah, I would say that mine has evolved through just having the will to do it, put in the time and the work, and I'm happy with where I'm at now, but I'm not satisfied. I'm always pushing. My goal, I don't really compete with other artists. Some artists have the ego; you have to compete with each other. I don't. I'm competing with myself, and my goal is to be the best artist I can be, and Yeah, so that's what drives me. So yeah, so the work has evolved because I'm always practicing and working and trying to find the better technique to achieve what I want to put on the canvas.
You see our similar attitudes? The same.
Yeah,
Yet we all different.
very different. Tell me a little bit about your iconography and some of the symbols that you use in your work, Jerry.
Well, it kind of goes back to what I was saying earlier about presenting black women in art differently. They're presented in a way that you just don't really see them a lot. And, you know, I'm an academic advisor for the university in the School of Education. And so, you know, this is one of my former students here. She posed for me. And then this is my niece, Jordan. And the symbolism is just energy and light, life, and being awakened. So this student here, she graduated, and so she got a full life ahead of her, with a lot of possibilities, endless possibilities. And so that's kind of the energy I wanted to put forth in the camp, in the painting. And then my niece here is just a really cool kid. And so I
love the hair.
Yeah. And so just presenting different images.
Is that an aura over both of their heads? They got auras?
Yeah. A little bit of like energy and being awakening. I'm a big comic book fan, and so some of the energy in this symbol right above her head, that came from an idea from a comic book. So, yeah.
I'm all about those too.
Mm-hmm.
As one who appreciates those, it was the feeling that I saw when I looked at your pieces was, you know, the symbolism that just kind of doesn't need explanation, but you feel like you do. You kind of make up your own thing with it too. Yeah, I love it. I do.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Tony, tell us a little bit about your paintings.
Yeah, I mean, eclectic, you know. Since I was a kid, my mother always said I was an eclectic person, and at first I never really understood that, and then I kind of could see just with everything I do I am. I don't know, I kind of just, you know, involving myself with comic books early on, video game culture early on, you know, I get told a lot, you got a Mortal Kombat fantasy thing going on, or, you know, or someone can always say something what mine looks like, and I feel like that's kind of, you know, the thing paying off about it. Like this, it's also a work in progress. It's actually not a completed painting, but I kind of put things up that I think about. So I kind of got like this Arizona-looking desert with this, you don't know what's coming from the sky, but it is, to kind of symbolize I do have aspirations to end up on the West Coast and to do large scale, like largest I could possibly think of paintings, and just, I don't know, kind of reside there at some point. Travel. The wolf, I always have a wolf somewhere in something to symbolize ambition and hunger, and also to be patient. You know, the smartest wolves in the pack live the longest. You know, and then the rose, obviously, I don't know, rose is just flower love, obviously, but it's something that everyone they look at, it's a rose, and I love that. I love that it's, you don't have to question it, you know. And then as far as like the angel lady in space, it kind of is my perception of, I guess you could say, higher power. It really can be whatever it is you want it to be, as long as you're doing, you know, what's right for your soul and outwardly. So I guess that's what it all means. I have a hand of creation. It's my favorite component to the Sistine Chapel is the fingers of the creation, because I'm creating. And yeah, it's mainly my symbol to what I do every day.
Nice.
So yeah.
Great, thank you. Jerome, can you tell us a bit about your paintings that you have here?
The dragon and the unicorn, they're humbugging. They're fighting. There's the fire teeth dragon, and the Pegasus unicorn. The colors, the pose moment. It's a pose moment.
And the other piece behind you there?
Justice, equal justice, Black Lives Matter. for those who don't think that we deserve equal justice.
And that's what this show is about. It's bringing to light the beauty of Black lives and Black artists. As an art consulting firm, Jerry was one of the very few artists we were already working with, artists of color. And Integrated Art Group, our consulting firm working primarily in healthcare. We have a national reach. So to bring artists on, giving an opportunity to have artwork out in public spaces, that's what this is about. And it's about the celebration, and it's about awareness, and about continuing the conversation. So I'm really excited, and want to thank Cafe Coda again for co-hosting. Again, doing a call for artists. Our show will be on Sunday, October 25th. IntegratedArt.com for tickets and sponsor information. I do want to thank Martin Glass, one of our sponsors. We're looking for sponsors to help make this event successful. I believe each one of you have selected organizations that you would donate your proceeds to, or a portion of your proceeds. So if you guys want to give a shout out or talk about those organizations at all, here's an opportunity.
Arts for All is a wonderful organization for those with disabilities, and I certainly want to support Arts for All.
Great.
I would say the same exact one for me.
Okay. Very cool. How about you, Jerry?
Yeah, that sounds right too. Yeah, I'm with that.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Excellent, excellent. And want to do just another little call out for tomorrow night at actually 4 p.m. We will be hosting Art Toast Pennsylvania. I've got a few artists that are going to be part of the exhibition. Anthony Smith, Femi Johnson, and Ale Johnson. We'll be talking with them and interviewing them in their studios in Pennsylvania. So join us tomorrow night as well for continued conversation about this.
That's wonderful, Margaret.
So
Yeah, thanks for having us.
thank you.
you so
Thank
much.
you all for being here.
Thank you.
Hanan.
Thanks, guys. Yeah.
Hanan.
Very cool work, y'all. Thank you. You too.
Thank you.
Inspiring, man.
Thanks.
Faces are the things I've been really, really going after lately. The last year or so, it's been my main focus, just face structure and learning even terminology for my references and stuff like that. It's all stuff I've been kind of I would say I'm obsessed with it now. You know, especially with tattooing, all I want to do is faces, lady faces.
Oh
man,
yeah,
all of
yeah.
them.
I'll give you a clue, Tony. All I see there is such sexualness. So much sexualness. Between the viciousness of the wolf and we call her an angel.
Well, it's just, it's one of them things, where it's, I think, maybe just kind of along the lines of the things that I like in general. Like,
There you go. I think so
Yeah,
more.
but I keep it honest. I don't hold back as far as the things that
It's
make
very
me,
honest. It's very honest.
even if it's a tad offending at times. I've been told, you paint things that I don't think you should. It's like,
Oh no.
well, maybe that's not saying you were, but that's exactly why I painted this. Yeah. So you would tell me that.